I've literally dreamed about this moment for years now. I've dreamed of coming to Mexico City for many years.
My first memory of ever hearing about Mexico City was when I was a kid. A family friend just came back from a trip to Mexico and told us that Mexico is great, but Mexico City, the capital, is not really the safest place, and you can't even walk around and explore by yourself. You need a local guide. And I remember thinking, wow, what a horrible place it must be if you can't even walk around by yourself. Whether that was even true or not back then, after spending 4 days in Mexico's capital, I can definitely tell you that this is no longer the case. If you come to Mexico and you don't visit Mexico City, you're simply missing out, because Mexico City is incredible and it's one of the coolest cities I've ever been to.
This city has been on top of my bucket list for ages. And the funny thing is that majority of people I talked to before coming here didn't understand my excitement. Obviously, there are a lot of misconceptions about this city, or well, maybe they're not misconceptions. We're gonna see. Obviously, the first thing people say is that Mexico City is dangerous. Are you not scared to go there by yourself? Or I'm not here by myself, I'm here with a friend. But there's only the two of us. But one thing I've learned in life traveling is that sometimes you just can't listen to what people say. Obviously, common sense is important, but a lot of the times you just have to see it for yourself.
We were super jet lagged on our first day, so we started the day early, very early.
So this is the only good thing about jet lag, that you get to see things like this. Because normally I would never ever wake up that early. Even if I wanted to, I probably wouldn't. So we just went out for the first time, and the plan is getting some breakfast, and also it's kind of chilly. What's funny is that it's 10 degrees, or actually it's not really funny, but the temperatures really change a lot here during the winter. So it basically goes from like 8 degrees Celsius at night, and then during the day it goes up to like 25 or something crazy like that. So it's a huge like temperature change, which we're not really used to.
We stayed in the center at Hilton Reforma, only a short walk from the historic district, the old town of Mexico City. And when we went out, the shops were still closed and there were not many people out, and everything seemed really calm. And I think it was a really good way for us to get familiar with the city, because obviously Mexico City is huge and it's not always like that. Later in the day, it does get really busy.
So we've been walking for like 5 minutes, which is not long, but my first impression of Mexico City is that it's freaking beautiful. Like, look at this. So pretty. So that place was very good. I highly recommend it.
After having breakfast, we explored the historic district. We went to the famous Zocalo Square, which is basically the heart of Old Town. And then we walked down the Madero Avenue, one of the main pedestrian streets of Mexico City, full of shops, restaurants, etc. And that is also where the beautiful House of Tiles is located.
We're about to have the first tacos of this trip. That's actually a lie. We did have tacos yesterday, but this is like the first official tacos outside. And the place we're heading to is apparently one of the best places in Mexico City for fish tacos, which I'm excited about because I'm not the biggest fan of meat. So fish tacos is something that makes my heart happy. We decided to chill by the pool for a bit, and we're listening to someone singing Last Christmas. Yeah, you know how I said that it was kind of chilly this morning? Well, it's not chilly anymore. It's probably like 26, 25, I don't know. It's hot. It's absolutely insane how temperatures can change here. But to be honest, it's also like the perfect combination where you can have like really proper city holiday and you can explore in the morning while it's not that cold, or in the evening, and then during the day you can chill by the pool. And also I'm saying chill by the pool, not necessarily in the pool, because I just touched the water and it's so cold. I mean, it was 8 degrees during the night, so obviously it does cool down. So I don't think I'm gonna be that brave to go in. Maybe inside, there's an inside pool, so I might go there.
In the evening, we went for a walk to see the Monument to the Revolution, another famous landmark. And already on that first day, I was so impressed with Mexico City. I always really wanted to come here, so I did have an idea that the city will be pretty cool. But honestly, it turned out to be even better than I expected. It was super clean. It's a very green city. There are a lot of parks. It has this perfect combination of modern and old architecture. And it's overall a very exciting, pleasant city full of energy. And I personally really like big cities, so I could already tell that this is probably a beginning of a new city love affair for me.
It is our second day in Mexico and it is early morning. It's 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Very early. We actually woke up before the sunrise again today. And my mom told me that I won't be jet lagged. And that is not true, because I am jet lagged, because otherwise I would never wake up before the sunrise. So the plan for right now is getting some coffee and going for the walk around Centro Histórico. Jak moja wymowa? The old town in Mexico City. The city feels so much nicer in the morning. There's not that many, I mean, not that many people here. Is still like quite a lot of people, but the city definitely comes alive at night or in the evenings. And a lot of things open quite late, so apparently even their bakeries open at like 9 a.m, 10 a.m. That's pretty late for bakeries, right?
Yo la vi pasar, me enamoró su mirar. Ese día conmigo bailó.
One of my many observations about Mexico City is that the city is very diverse. It changes a lot. You're walking on one street and then you turn around and everything changes. Architecture changes, vibes changes. I mean, it makes sense in a city of that size. Actually, Mexico City is the largest Spanish-speaking city in the world, and it's also the largest city in the northern, what's the name? So we just checked out of the hotel we were staying at. Very sunny. So we stayed at the Hilton for the first 2 days, and now we're gonna do it the right way, or the right backpacking way. I mean, I am wearing a backpack. So yeah, well, the plan was to stay at a hotel for the first 2 nights to just like sort of settle in. And you know, I personally really like traveling like that, changing between good hotels and hostels, because obviously being in a hotel and being in a hostel is a completely different experience. I mean, the hotel was really nice. It was nice to have a safe space for the first 2 days. I mean, safe space. It's not that I feel unsafe here at all. To be honest, I feel very safe. I feel the same I feel at home. But you know, it was nice to have the view and everything. And being in a hostel is obviously all about like meeting people, and yeah, mainly meeting people. Alta de Mesa. We found the place we're looking for yesterday, which is apparently known for good fish tacos.
So El Pascedito is a pretty well-known place in Mexico City. By the way, I'm very sorry about my Spanish pronunciation. I never had Spanish classes in my entire life, so I know it's really bad. I'm trying my best. Anyways, this place has over 5,000 reviews on Google and 4.6 stars, and I would definitely very, very highly recommend it if you like seafood or fish.
Okay, so as far as I understand, you basically order here and then you choose your toppings from here. Whoa. So we just checked into the hostel where we'll be staying for the next 2 days. and it has a really cool rooftop with a really nice view and a really nice Malta. Comes in price. Oh, our old home is right there. We just left our stuff at the hostel and now we are on our way to a neighborhood called Polanco, which is apparently the fancy, nice neighborhood of Mexico City. So I'm excited to see it. And also, that's where the famous Mexico Mi Amore sign is located. So, and Polanco is located about 5 kilometers away, but we decided that we're gonna walk, or maybe 4 kilometers, I don't know, but far away. So a nice thing is that we both agree that walking is the thing to do. I guess majority of people wouldn't walk 5 kilometers, but we will.
So we did end up walking those 5 kilometers from the center all the way to Polanco, down Reforma, which is one of the main streets that runs across the center of Mexico City. On the way, we saw the famous Angel of Independence, which is one of the most iconic landmarks of Mexico City.
So we made it to Polanco, and you can definitely see that this neighborhood is very different. It does seem wealthier. I mean, it is a wealthier neighborhood.
Polanco is actually one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive neighborhood in central Mexico City. It's known for luxury shops and fancy restaurants.
You can definitely see that everything is taken care of. There are a lot of restaurants, a lot of cafes, and it does have this like European feeling to it.
Ale na przykład możesz też powiedzieć.
Dzięki, Marta. Może tutaj zrobimy kanał Pajmata, co? Konkretnie.
No, można też zaznaczyć to, że na przykład mimo, że tutaj widać, że te miejsca są właśnie takie bardziej, że o nie dbają, to na przykład też trzeba zauważyć, że w tych innych miejscach na przykład nie jest tak, że wychodzimy z miejsca, gdzie było brudno na przykład, bo całe Mexico City jest czyste jak diabli.
No właśnie.
Tylko, że same miejsca, restauracje wyglądają trochę inaczej.
Może napisy. I can honestly not get over the fact how diverse the city is. I guess maybe it's the case with every big city, but if you come to Mexico City, you should definitely come to Polanco. Polanco. There's obviously no tourist attractions here, but just walking around this area, it's so cool. Like it is just so nice to just see how people live. Oh, we found it! Znalazłam the famous.
Serio takie małe?
No tak.
5 kilometrów poszłam?
So we found the famous Insta spot, the Mexico Mi Amore sign. It is much smaller than I thought, but as you can see, there's a little line here. So as many Insta-worthy spots, it turned out that this sign is slightly small.
Even though Mexico Mi Amore sign was maybe slightly disappointing, I still really loved hanging out around this area because, well, let's be honest, that's usually not the Mexico they show you on Netflix. Unfortunately, I mean, unless you watch Made in Mexico, then you probably did see it because a lot of the cast members live in this area. But what I mean is that Mexico is often portrayed in a certain way. And when you come here and you see what Mexico is really like, you start to understand how unfair it really is. On our third day, we decided to explore 2 neighborhoods, Roma and La Condesa. The first thing we did in the morning was getting some street food churros. In general, street food is a really big thing in Mexico City. And when you wander around the streets, you see a lot of stalls offering anything from tacos to sweets and fruits.
So we made it to Roma and the plan is to just walk around. This area definitely feels way more residential and it's quite calm, very green. There are a lot of restaurants here.
Roma is often described as the hipster heart of Mexico City. It's full of colors, trendy boutiques, and coffee shops. The history of Roma goes back to the late 1800s when this neighborhood was built for the wealthy citizens of Mexico City, and the architecture here was mainly inspired by the European style. But over the years, with the new, more modern building being built here, Roma developed this really unique and distinguished style that is a combination of both old and new. Later in the day, we explored La Condesa, and to be honest, I even like this area more than Roma. It's definitely a really cool place to just walk around, and also both of these neighborhoods, Roma and La Condesa, are considered as some of the safest areas in Mexico City.
I know I've already said that Mexico City is very green, but I'm still shocked about how green it is. There are so many parks here, and like literally every single street has trees. Not literally every single street, but all the streets in the central areas of Mexico City that we have seen so far are very green. And there's so many doggies here.
In general, all the areas that I have shown you in this vlog are some of the safest areas in Mexico City, and it is perfectly fine for you as a tourist to just walk around and explore by yourself. As you could see, we were fine. But of course, you do need to keep in mind that this is a huge city, and unfortunately, a lot of shit happens in big cities, wherever you are, really, not only in Mexico. So it is important to do your research on the different neighborhoods and avoid walking by yourself at night. Take taxis or Uber if you can.
So today is our last day in Mexico City, and we're heading to a bakery now to grab some breakfast. Or technically second breakfast, but we're flying down south today. In an hour we need to be back at our place and take a taxi to the airport. I'm not sure if I said it before in the vlog, but I will just, you know, make sure to say it again just to be 100% sure it's there. But what makes walking in Mexico City extra special is that, or extra difficult, is that this city is so high up. We are 2,000 meters above, more, 2,300 or something like that? 2,300 meters above the sea level, which is pretty intense and crazy. Oh my god, just look at this. The amount of cake in here. Like, this is absolutely insane. And it's so pretty, the building is really pretty. Oh my god, I can't. What is this?
I did want to film my final conclusion on Mexico City, but I think I got distracted. But anyways, my final conclusion is come to Mexico City and you won't regret it. Mexico City is now officially one of my favorite cities I've ever been to. And I know that I will definitely be coming back as soon as I can.